Hello and welcome to another week of the Tom Sawyer Show here on the Warrior Sports Network. I'm Cory Prudoehl, joined as always by head football coach Tom Sawyer. Coach, not a great week for the Warriors. 33-8 loss at Augustana last week. Didn't perform very well, and I'm sure you'd say the same.
Yeah, I'll say the same. We didn't perform very well at all, Cory. Very disappointed in that. When you're playing for an opportunity to possibly go to a bowl game, and a lot of things riding on it. I thought that our kids were ready. I thought we had a good week of practice. Just got over there, and we did lose a kid during the pregame warm-up. Tyler Lund went down with some kind of a medical issue and had to take him off by ambulance. So that's not a good way to get your day started. Then we threw an interception on the first pass. So we were into the wind, and Jack underthrew a ball, and they picked it off deep in our own zone. So it was a bad start, and we had a tough day. And it still comes back to the same thing, Cory. We have got to perform at a higher level with the kids that we trust the most, and those are the things that we're looking forward to here in the next week. But they're a very good defense. They're 4-4, but they've lost the same games that we did along the way, and now we're in a fight for our life to save our season. But that was a good lesson for us, especially for the underclass kids.
One stat that really stuck out looking at the sheet was 2-to-1 time of possession difference. They held the ball for 40 minutes. You guys were 20. What caused that, and what allowed them to really hold the ball so long?
Well, turnovers. We turned the ball over at the beginning of the game, and they run past. In fact, they ran for a couple hundred yards or more, and so they're on the ground eating up clock, and we were horrible on third downs. And we just got to get off the field defensively, and we've been doing a good job all year long. I think we're 5th in the league in total defense, but that particular day we just could not get off the field, and offensively with a couple turnovers, that eats up clock again against us. So those two things combined really made it tough for us on Saturday.
And then Paul Preston had 3 straight 100-yard games in a row. Couldn't really get going against their part of only 220 offensive yards as a team. But passing game, running game, usually you got one or the other working, but just not able to get any of them going.
Well, unfortunately in our running game, they did have they had 9 guys down the box, and kind of made us throw the football, and they knew that we'd been struggling a little bit, and with Jack's got a cast on his hand, and but we had 8 drops in the football game. So if you look at the statistics will say that he was 12 for 25. You put 8 more on top of that, all of a sudden he's 20 for 25 with 62%, and we're rolling, because 2 of those could have, or 3 possibly maybe would have been touchdowns. So we got to make plays, and it's tough in this league. If you don't, they'll get you, and it's happened to us a couple times this year, and we got to say it the way it is and come back and get right back after it this week against Southwest.
Talk a little bit about Ian Murray. We'll talk to him a little bit later, but he had 6 tackles last week, and overall has had a pretty good season. What's he meant to the defense since he's been a part of the Warriors? Well,
he's a steady guy. He's in and out of the lineup with those inside linebackers with he and Ryan Gertz and Colin Corcoran, and those guys kind of interchange all the time. But Ian brings a physical presence. He's a tough kid. He's also our long snapper, so he's involved with the game a lot. But he's a guy that you can always count on. Very smart, good athlete, and a kid that's always going to play physical.
All right, well, before we forget about this game, when we come back, we'll take a look at some of the highlights from the game Saturday at Augustana.
Sounds good.
And welcome back to the show. Now it's time to take a look at the highlights from last Saturday at Augustana.
Sounds good. Yeah, we're pretty excited. They got the ball here right away at the beginning of the game. We got some good pressure. Colin Corcoran on the pressure made the kid overthrow the football. It was a beautiful day there, except it was a little chilly, but the sun was out. Now the wind was blowing pretty good, sometimes up to 40 miles an hour. But they got down. We escaped that first drive, and the kid banged it off the goalpost here to kick it left. Jack Nelson under center. When he has time, he can throw it anywhere, and that's Josh Mikas on the catch. You can see the strength and power that he has going down the sideline. Again, defensive highlights. Kids making good plays, coming across the middle, eliminating routes. And again, flushed out of the pocket, a good hurry, and kids bouncing off his hands. But you can see the pressure coming from inside. That's Ryan Gertz. That's Anthony, who is that? A&W, I guess it was. Yeah. And then defended by Larry Bayou at the end. Again, great pressure from the sideline. And we thought that was intercepted, and he had it for a little while. That's Ian Murray on the interception. The pressure by Andrew Spencer. In the backfield, Paul Preston, a little play action pass, and there's Jack getting floated out and flushed out, and again found for a first down inside by Josh Mikas. Again, good defensive pressure, flushed him out of the pocket, and as you can see, we're getting up on top of him for the big sack. It was about a 15-yard loss, so it was really a nice play, and you see here again, early pressure by Jeffrey Brown, the tackle made inside. Again, that's Colin Corcoran, been our best sack guy the last couple of years. Play action to Anthony Resnick. When Jack has plenty of time, he can make the hit. Again, this is Josh Mikas. I think he had 4 catches on the day and had a pretty nice day for us. We didn't get in the end zone a lot, did move the ball pretty well, and a nice little play here. Again, that is Josh again inside making the big catch. And back to the defensive side. Little play action pass, but again, we got some pressure. That's Kyle English making the big pressure, and you can see him coming all the way around the backside, and a senior that's really wanting to play hard. He was even held on the play and still made the sack. Punt return here, this is Alan May. Back there for us, they punted it deep in the wind, and you can see he made a bunch of guys miss, and that's kind of fun where the rest of the guys are trying to find somebody to block, and he's down that sideline. I thought for a second there he might be gone, but it did turn out to be like an 8-yard net punt, so that was kind of fun. Again, from the end zone shot, a lot of the guys trying to find people to pick off and hit along the way, but Alan May doing his thing, got a nice block there by both those kids, and really did a nice job in the open field for us, and he was our special teams player of the week. Nelson under center again, looking for our crossing routes, and finds Cameron Johnson going across. You see how big and strong he is. Got a shoestring tackle there, but he's a big, strong kid now. And this is a touchdown back to Johnson again down the corner. Cam had a big day for us with a couple touches. I guess 1 touchdown, but a couple catches. Pass again. Oh, that was Cam. That was on a 2-point play. Okay, it was a 2-point play. Got it to 8. We're down by 2 touchdowns. It was 24-0 at the time, so we're starting our comeback. Another sack there by Kyle English and the defensive line. So you can see that our kids are flying around the football, doing a nice job. We just couldn't sustain it, couldn't get off the field on 3rd downs. Another big play right here and deep in the end zone. Nice play right there, and that's Anthony Cantonese. He did a great job. And again, down to Alan May getting us a 1st down, and that's how we finished up the highlights. But just not enough of those highlights that ended up in the end zone, but still a fun day to play football.
Yep. All right, and when we come back, I'll sit down with the defensive playmaker, Ian Murray. And welcome back to the Tom Sawyer Show here on the Warrior Sports Network. First guest, senior running back Anthony Resnick. And Anthony, well, first of all, you're a broadcasting major, so maybe do you want to do the interview? Or?
No, that's all right. I'll let you do that.
All right. So first of all, senior running back, been with the program a long time. What's your senior season kind of been like for you so far?
It's been an interesting season. We had a lot of big games at home, which were fun. Some more tough road games. Sometimes they didn't go the way we had expected, but it's definitely been a season I'll remember.
Yeah. Unfortunately, one of the things being a running back, you kind of saw your leader and captain go down against Duluth. You being a fellow running back with him, fellow senior, what was that like seeing him go down, and what did that kind of do for your group and your team?
That one hit me real close to home because Theo Burkett, he's probably one of my closest friends on the team, being the same group. We're actually the same major and all of those things, but yeah, it hit me pretty hard. It was really tough, obviously, for the team. He was a big leader this year, being a 6th-year guy. So, we had to deal with the issues of just, kind of reestablishing our leadership and our identity without him being there.
You guys are 4-5, obviously not the season you probably would have hoped, but at the same time, still 2 home games left to go. So it's good to be at home finally and get to round out your career in that way. What's kind of your individual goals, and what are some of your team goals in these final couple games?
For me personally, it's just to do best I can. I got 2 chances left to play college football that I'll probably never get again. Obviously for the team, postseason play is really out of the option now, so I think it's really just preparing and developing for next season.
I mentioned at the beginning of the segment that you're a broadcasting major. What's kind of your favorite thing about broadcasting, or what drew you to that kind of field?
Originally I came into school and I wanted to be a personal trainer, so I thought about entering the athletic training program, but wouldn't work with football because of the time commitment. So then I was like, well, I'll do something I enjoy doing, which is edit videos and audio. So definitely editing videos is probably my favorite in my major.
So you want to edit the show after this?
If need be.
So for a career, what do you kind of want to do? Do you have that figured out yet, or is that up in the air?
Not really. Obviously, with the broadcasting, it's a pretty broad major. I think I'd just like to be behind the scenes in the media, editing audio and video.
Cool. Another thing that you really pride yourself in doing with Winona State is your community service. I know you're big with the 48-hour practice and a lot of things like that. So talk a little bit about the community service that you've done in your time here, and what's kind of been your favorite thing to do.
The 48-hour practice is definitely the biggest thing that I do. It's also run through the Fellowship of Christian Athletes, which I'm also a part of. And we raise money to send to Africa to help them build wells for clean water. That's really fun. So we get all the athletes involved, and we hang out, practice in the middle of campus for 48 hours straight, overnight as well. Again, we are starting Readers to Warriors. We're going to go to the local schools and read to the children there, which is also fun. You know, they love seeing us there. So those are probably the two biggest things that I'm involved in personally. Awesome.
Well, that's fantastic. 2 more games left. Good luck to you and the Warriors. Should be a great way to round out your season. So good luck for the rest of the way. When we come back, we will talk to junior linebacker Ian Murray. And welcome back to the Tom Sawyer Show. Next guest is junior linebacker Ian Murray. Ian, been a big part of the improved Warrior defense this year. You've played well, as has the team as a whole for most of the season. What do you think has been the biggest difference in the improved defense this year?
I'd say first it's up front, that defensive line. They've been nasty up front, making us linebacker our jobs a lot easier. They've been getting after it, and it's really helped us linebackers. We run free and make tackles in the secondary. Getting pressure. Our goal, our mindset as a defense is to get after the quarterback and create turnovers. So I think the biggest difference has been that defensive line up front. You got to give those guys credit for what they do.
Absolutely. But talk about the linebackers specifically. Pretty veteran group with you and guys like Morgan Weaver and Ryan Gertz. Has that been kind of a strength of the group with all the leadership that there is? And you talk about how they've performed this year.
Yeah, most definitely. I'd say our linebacker group is, it's a veteran group. We got a lot of leaders. We got Ryan Gertz and Corcoran and I and Gage. And with the outside linebackers, Morgan Weaver has been a veteran in this program for 4 years. And Jared Wood's been playing well, and our linebackers have had a great year, and they've been flying around making plays. So,
you specifically, an interception this year, a sack this year. You had 6 tackles last week. How would you assess your performance this year as now you're an upperclassman and a junior with the Warriors?
I thought the season's been going pretty well individually. Like I said, I got to give the credit up front though. If it wasn't for those D linemen, I wouldn't be able to make the plays I do. So.
So now you've been with the program, you've played most of the teams in the conference, you've been to a lot of places. Where would you say is your favorite place to play so far?
Well, first,
other than here at
I was going to say,
Stadium.
first I love playing at Winona, but on the road I'd say my favorite road stadium would probably be Upper Iowa. They got a brand new facility, it's nice, nice jumbotron, it's a cool environment.
Yeah, you got to play there just a couple weeks ago too.
And it's fun playing at night.
Yeah, absolutely. How about your favorite team to play? You got a lot of rivals in this league, but which team do you get the most excited to play?
Minnesota, Duluth, and Mankato have always been those upper teams in our division. We always look forward to them on the schedule. And this season, those games during the year didn't go as how we expected, but those are games that you always look forward to. Those are the big time, teams within our conference that you always want to, get after. So.
Yeah. Absolutely. 2 more games, left in the season, both at home, where you like playing, of course. What are your individual goals as a team here in these final couple games?
Well, like I said, we're 4-5 now, and the season obviously didn't go as how we expected. The goal is always to be going to the playoffs, but now it's just a matter of taking advantage of these last opportunities, getting after it, and finishing strong for these seniors.
You're a junior. You'll be back next year, but you're a ways into your program and your college career. You're an education major, so what's it been like balancing education and football, and what do you kind of like about education and being a major in that?
Education is something that I, it's my major, and I really enjoy it. I think what I want to do in the future is be an elementary education teacher and coach as well, and kind of continue with this. If football doesn't work out in the future, coach in the future, and so I can do that with teaching, and I just want to make impact for kids in their lives in make a positive impact for kids.
Well, that's awesome. 2 games left, so good luck the rest of the way. When we come back here on the Tom Sawyer Show, we'll sit down with assistant coach Jared Mitchell. And welcome back to the Tom Sawyer Show here on the Warrior Sports Network. Joined now by Jared Mitchell, second-year assistant coach. Coach, you work with the defensive backs, your second year in the system. Talked a little bit ago to Ian about the improved defense, and he credited the defensive backs. So what have you seen from the defensive backs this year that's been such an improvement from last year?
Well, I see them really communicating a lot better with themselves and then with the linebackers as well. But, I mean, honestly, the defensive line this year has to be the most improved part of our defense. I mean, they constantly get pressure on the quarterbacks and making them uneasy in the pocket. That has allowed us to get some interceptions. We got younger guys this year stepping up like Andrew Spencer and Devontae Wilcox-Ransom, but they're being led by guys like Pat Lazar and Larry Mabayu and Anthony Cantonese and Mitch Lunder. They're all doing a wonderful job working with each other every day, and they always come to work.
You're a former player yourself, a couple years ago with the Warriors. What kind of things have you brought from your time as a player to now a coach that you can teach these young guys back there?
Really, it's just, I mean, I feel like I have the most impact like on the sideline, like during games, like when a younger guy like Devontae or Andrew's in the game and they see stuff, or teams start to hit you with tempo, they don't really know what to do at all times, and I'll just pull them to the side, hey, just make sure you keep your eye discipline, or do this, do that. It's just really the on-the-fly things. I mean, Coach Curtin does a great job at letting them know where they need to be and installing our defense. So those guys, they pretty much know what they need to do, but it's just game time stuff.
And then you yourself mentioned you were a former player. Now you're an assistant coach. You're also in school. What's it like balancing graduate school and then having to be an assistant coach and spending all kinds of time doing that as well?
I mean, it's definitely challenging, but it needs to be done. I mean, the kids, they give us the same amount of time and effort at practice, and they have to go to class as well. So, I mean,
yeah,
I get it done.
Yeah, absolutely, that's all you can do. 2 games left. 4 and 5, not the way you want to have the season go. But what kind of things did the defense have planned for these final 2 games, especially coming up this Saturday against Southwest Minnesota State?
Just get after it. I mean, we go to work every day, come out there, practice hard, and put a great product on the field on Saturday. That's the only goal we have, just to go in each week and be 1-0 at the end of it. So we'll just keep continuing to grind away, keep trying to get pressure on the quarterback and force turnovers to give our offense another opportunity.
Sounds good. Well, good luck the rest of the way, Jared.
Thank you.
Yep, absolutely. When we come back, we'll sit back down with head coach Tom Sawyer, and we'll talk a little bit more about the game Saturday against Southwest Minnesota State. And welcome back to the Tom Sawyer Show. One final segment. Coach, season hasn't gone the way you wanted, but one kind of cool thing is that you get to play your final 2 games at home instead of having to go on the road late in the year. So, and that'll start Saturday when you take on Southwest Minnesota State. So, what's it like to have 2 home games to end the year?
Well, we're pretty excited about that. We got a lot of things that we want to accomplish in the last 2 weeks. One is we want to play a lot better fundamental football, play a full football game, and really spend some time with our seniors. Get them to enjoy their last 2 ball games at Maxwell Field. They've been through a lot this year, and it's been tough on them. But we got 2 great opportunities. Playing against Southwest this weekend, it's a game that last year over there we had 700 yards of offense and got beat in overtime. It was kind of a crazy game, and so we got a little revenge factor there. And at the same time, we got to put a full game together, Cory, and that's something we're looking forward to.
Talk a little bit about Southwest. Last year they were a Mineral Water Bowl team. They've struggled quite a bit this year as well, too. What do they bring to the table? They have one of the better running backs in the nation with Tyler Tonderum, but what kind of things are they going to do to try to
They're going to hand the ball off to Tyler. That's what they do. He's very good. A quarterback is very good as well. Just like the rest of the league, very similar to the quarterback from Augustana last week. Those 2 are a good combination. But if they get the zone game going and running the football, Tyler's as good as we've had in the league for a long time. They graduated 5 offensive linemen last year that were all seniors, so that's a big difference. And so similar to us, we're playing some young kids in that O-line, and sometimes they're good and sometimes they're not. So he hasn't had the year that he's had the last couple due to that. But he's still very good. He's healthy, and look forward to a challenge for our defense to slow him down.
Yeah, and then as far as their defense is usually one that gives up a lot of points. Is your offense kind of licking their chops and thinking this is the game where we can get the offense going a little bit?
Well, I don't know. We hope to. I mean, we think that every week, but we haven't been able to perform. So if our top kids, if we catch the football and run it hard, I mean, our running backs have been, Paul's been doing a nice job. DC Resnick did a nice job last week coming in. And so we got to get all of it going. We need to be able to be a balanced football team. We're looking forward to playing a pretty fundamental, mistake-free football game.
All right, well, 1 o'clock Saturday, you guys get back out there for your second-to-last home game of the season at Maxwell Field at Warrior Stadium. 1 o'clock kick, you can catch it on HBC Channel 25 or on 89.5 KQAL if you can't make it to the game. One final week after today for the Tom Sawyer Show, so winding down the season. Until then, he's Tom Sawyer. I'm Cory Prudoehl here on the Warrior Sports Network.